Heads up, 20-ups, it's Saturday. If you didn't catch it, that was supposed to be a really lame April Fool's joke. Really lame. Alright, so now that we got the obligatory lame April Fool's joke out of the way, let's get on to discussions. TJ had asked about what our potential baby names were, and I have to be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I know more about my brother's name than I do about mine. I know my brother was named after some guy named Rhett, and my parents just put a B in front of it to name him Brett. Jins, you said you cut off your hair because you were going to donate it to charity. Believe it or not, my hair was a lot longer than it is now. It's about there down my back. Back in August, I got the 10 inches cut off and I donated it to Locks of Love, and now it's this short too, so I also have sort of short hair. To me, this is medium length. Short would be like ear or above. This is medium length, and once it gets below the shoulders, it's long, for me at least. And your name, Magella, is a really nice name. I like the ring it has to it when you say it, Magella. I'm gonna try and not say it anymore because I don't think you're gonna want me saying your name 50 times in a video. Danielle, you mentioned that you had a rant about Harry Potter that you didn't want to get into so you wouldn't offend anyone. And to be honest, I'd actually want to hear it. So if you make a video on like your own channel, send me a link to it because I would really want to hear what you think about it. I also wanted to ask, because Rima said that music theory is a huge thing to cover, which it really is, I wanted to know more specifically, since you're probably going to teach us all how to read music now, what specific part of music theory were you going to focus on? And lastly, you'd mentioned how you loved all the snowmen that Calvin and Hobbes made. Those inspired me to make some really creative snowmen. I don't think I have any pictures or video of any of the snowmen we made, but I've had awesome ideas to do things. It was a snow monster where it's like a Snowzilla type thing, and it's just this giant snow monster, probably the size of me. It was a good 5 or 6 feet tall. We made these super tiny snow people that were trying to run away from it. Calvin and Hobbes put crazy ideas in my head. Rima, I want cookies too. And now something a little less childish. The Phantom Tollbooth. I've seen the movie 2 or 3 times, and I loved the movie, but I had never realized that it was based off of a book. So, thanks to Danielle's suggestion, and you're bringing it up again, I am totally gonna check the book out now. Lucy? Oh my god, your cat is adorable! I am such a cat person. Such a cat person. Your daughter is cute and all, but I'm not a little kid person in the slightest. I am a cat person. I threaten to steal all my friends' cats because I want them as my own. My friend moved into an apartment at the beginning of the month with 2 other people, and they've got like 5 cats, and yesterday was the first time I ever went there, and I was like blown away at how many cats there were in this small apartment. It was fantastic. I could go on some crazy rants about cats and how much I love them, so I'll tone it down. And you had mentioned you're also doing Vita this year. Vlog every day in April? I'm gonna try and do it too, but I have a lot planned for April, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do that along with everything else, because I'm also planning to do Script Frenzy. I'm also planning a lot of other things that sort of have to be more secretive until further notice. I just want to start off by saying that I have a pitifully small collection of books, as you can see by this shot. And the other thing that's wrong with this picture is, if you just take a close-up look right here, have you spotted it yet? I have a good explanation for it. It's actually a terrible explanation of it. I have books 2 through 7 of the Harry Potter series, but I'm missing book 1. I don't know how that happened, because I have a soft cover version of the first Harry Potter book, and I have a hardcover version of the first Harry Potter book. I just don't know where they are. They just disappeared, and now I don't have any idea where they could be. They're just gone. I'm gonna get on to my book recommendations. I'm gonna start off with Calvin and Hobbes, because Danielle and TJ both brought up Calvin and Hobbes, different Calvin and Hobbes books for that matter. TJ brought up The Essential Calvin and Hobbes, and Danielle brought up the 10th Anniversary Edition. I also have There's Treasure Everywhere, and The Days Are Just Packed. I'm just gonna throw it out and say it blatantly because no one else said it, and it's kind of obvious to say it. If you haven't read any of John Green's books, do it. Start with Paper Towns and Looking for Alaska, because those were my absolute favorites. Along with John Green being one of my favorite authors of all time, one of my other favorite authors of all time is a man called Ned Vizzini. If you haven't heard of him, check out both of these books. Be More Chill, and It's Kind of a Funny Story. Back in October, It's Kind of a Funny Story was turned into a movie, and I went to go see the movie, and I was freaking blown away at how close the movie stuck to the book. It was amazing. You couldn't ask for a better book, you couldn't ask for a better movie. If you haven't seen the movie, see the movie. If you haven't read the book, read the book. It is awesome. My next recommendation is a series of books. And no, it's not Twilight or Harry Potter. My next recommendation is going to be the Scott Pilgrim series. All 6 books. Amazing comics. I loved the movie, I loved the video game, I loved the books. If you haven't checked out Scott Pilgrim at all, do it. It's totally worth it. And my last book recommendations will be something where I feel like I sort of have to say this. There are 2 reasons why I feel like I have to say this. One is because Danielle said that she likes books about pirates. And the second is because my friend wrote these books. These are the first 2 books of her series that she's working on, and it's called Of Sins and Sailors. This is book 1, this is book 2. I can't really give you a great explanation of what it's about because I haven't started reading it yet, and she's gonna kill me when she gets back from Boston. But I'm gonna plug her book because she's a really good friend of mine, and she's going to Emerson College out in Boston for writing. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. And the last thing I want to talk about before I leave, nothing to do with books, more about my favorite band of all time. I've mentioned the name in one of my first videos explaining like my favorite bands and stuff, what music I listen to. A band called Patent Pending, they're from Long Island, New York, and I wanted to mention this for 2 reasons. One, they just released a music video, and it's been getting huge hits all over MTV. And 2, the message that the video deals with is so heavy. Like, I cry every time I watch this video, and I want to mention it more because twice now TJ has worn a shirt of To Write Love on Her Arms, and that's what the video is about. So I'm going to leave a link to that down below. It is such an awesome song, it's an awesome video, and I think it's a message that everyone needs to hear, so please watch it. I think that's all I need to talk about, so my camera's running out of memory space right now, so I have to finish this up really quickly. I will see TJ on Monday. I still haven't heard much about the conversation on JD Few, so I want to hear an update on that, seriously. Alright, so TJ, see you Monday, DFTBA.